They get that bet.
Sign it.
Yeah, sign the contract. But I want to take everything. I ain't leaving nothing. I want to take everything. Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. Like, you don't know me. Like, you feel me? And I don't give a fuck. Him. And everybody that's cool with him, I mean, with him.
Same question for you. You're a proud father.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has finally answered back. After staying quiet for months filled with drama and a failed super fight, Tank has now responded to Terence "Bud" Crawford with one of the hardest call-outs in recent boxing history. When Tank said sign the contract, it did more than create buzz. It brought back a rivalry that has been building for years and now feels impossible to avoid. Right now these two fighters are moving in very different directions. Crawford is at the peak of the sport, undefeated, undisputed, and coming off a dominant win over Canelo Alvarez at 168. He is now a 3-division undisputed champion and is already meeting with Saudi power broker Turki Al-Sheikh about even bigger legacy fights.
Mayweather or Crawford?
Crawford all day long.
Be surprised at how good Crawford was in there with Canelo.
I always said to everyone that Crawford is a fantastic fighter, skilled, movement, he has everything that it takes to become the best, and there's no one there to touch him in this game. So when the Canelo fight was announced with Crawford, I said to everyone that Crawford's gonna win. People looked at me like, are you sure? Like, is he big enough? I go, trust me, Crawford is big enough, he's strong enough, and he can beat Canelo. And guess what? He went there and did it.
On the other side, Tank Davis is coming off a very difficult year. He had a disputed draw against Lamont Roach. A major event with Jake Paul was cancelled because of legal issues. He went silent in public and faced non-stop criticism about his career and long-term legacy.
Tank Davis is not the face of boxing because he doesn't fight often. He fights once a year. And he's probably one of the best talents in the world. I love Tank Davis. I love watching him fight. I love when he goes in the ring and just demonstrates power and speed and he doesn't give a sh**. I love that. But he has to fight more often. We want to see Tank fight 3-4 times a year. Tank Davis, I dare you to break my record. 5 world title fights in 1 year. Let's go.
You think he's lost?
So why is Tank suddenly going after the pound-for-pound leader? To understand that, we need to go back to the real beginning of this feud. Tank and Crawford have been circling each other for years, taking shots online long before anyone thought a real fight was possible.
Gervonta Davis say you need the money.
Shit.
What's going on with you and Gervonta?
If I'm a boxer, he a boxer, you a boxer, we all need the money.
I ain't doing it for free.
Thank you.
What if Gervonta said, hey, I'll come up to 154. I'll come up to 154 while you talking.
Oh man.
You go to you'll fight Gervonta at 154?
I wish him the best. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why do they come? Is it because they feel they need to come for the guy that seems like he's on the top right now? And right now, you're the guy on the top, so everybody's taking Ryan Garcia.
The most recent spark came from a short post by Crawford. He wrote that someone seemed upset about not being invited to the Ring magazine gala. He never mentioned Tank by name, but he did not need to. Tank reacted immediately. From that point, everything blew up. Tank fired back saying he still earns more money. Crawford responded with a calm but brutal reply saying rich people bragging about money is pointless because he owns more investments, owes no taxes, and can buy anything Tank can. After that, Tank became emotional. He attacked Crawford's legacy saying Bud chases money not greatness and only fights top names when forced. Then Tank crossed the line by bringing Crawford's wife into it with a post so offensive he deleted it minutes later. Screenshots spread fast. Fans, media, and Crawford all saw it, and Bud did not ignore it.
If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
At that moment it stopped being playful talk and became personal. Crawford has always handled problems inside the ring. Tank has often taken them outside the ring. Now the boxing world is asking one question. Are we finally moving toward a Crawford vs. Davis super fight? Before answering that, it matters where both men stand today. Crawford looks unbeatable. He beat Spence Madrimov and Canelo. He is undefeated and rules 3 weight classes. He can chase fights at 154,160,000, 168 or even 175 if he wants history more than comfort. Paragraph 7. Everyone wants a shot at him. Saudi Arabia wants to build events around him, and Turkey Al-Sheikh treats him like a once-in-a-generation star.
Who you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Tank, meanwhile, is trying to regain control of his image. The draw with Roach hurt his reputation. A controversial knee moment that should have been ruled a knockdown made fans question his focus and decision-making.
Crawford and Canelo, I'm pretty sure.
Shakur and Tank?
That would be dope. But if Tank was not so cocky to be on a Terence Crawford undercard, that would be dope. But I don't see Tank taking a backseat to no fighter.
Crawford even went on Club Shay Shay and said Roach deserved the win. He said Tank was too confident and did not take Roach seriously. That alone bruised Tank's pride badly. Then the Jake Paul fight collapse made things worse. Tank needed a strong comeback moment. Instead, headlines focused on lawsuits and a broken event. Tank denies wrongdoing and says Paul cancelled for personal reasons, but the damage was already done. His name was no longer tied to skill or dominance but to chaos. When a fighter feels his image slipping, he looks for the biggest challenge available. Right now there is no bigger name than Terence Crawford. But there is a twist. Crawford struck first in a quiet, sharp way. He joked about the gala invite. He mocked Tank's reactions. He questioned Tank's opponents and accomplishments. Then he landed the most painful line by saying Tank is not earning more money and asked who he has really fought. That hit Tank harder than anything Roach landed because deep down he knows it is true.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over.
Crawford is fighting legends and making history while headlining global cards. He is at the highest point of his career and Tank is not. That is where everything changes. Imagine being Tank Davis. You were the knockout star, the pay-per-view draw, the future of boxing. You headlined Atlanta and Vegas with celebrities watching ringside. Then life problems slowed everything down. The divisions moved on. Rankings moved on. Fans moved on. That is why Tank exploded. For the first time he was being talked down to.
it's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, it's, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
When Crawford delivered a harsh message saying Tank was irrelevant and could not survive at his level and that his money would not last, Tank reacted the only way he knows. He went all out. He publicly said sign the contract. He said it with anger and confidence, knowing Crawford would hear it and fans would react. But the truth is hard to accept. A Crawford versus Tank fight is nearly impossible right now. The size gap is huge. Crawford fights at 168. Tank struggles to make 135 and looks small even at 140. Crawford just fought Canelo. Tank is dealing with Roach Cruz and possible legal trouble.
Is that where we stand right now with Canelo Crawford? Yeah. Is that where we stand with Canelo Crawford? Because you're saying just because both are great, everybody wants to face each other. So is that where we're at right now with Canelo Crawford?
No. Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money?
Yeah, he needs the money. He got a chance to win. And another thing, bro. I don't be wanting to. How these guys is. Then you get hurt against.
Madrimov?
Who?
There you talking about Crawford got touched by Madrimov? Is that what you're saying?
No, you got clipped by Gamboa, right?
Yeah,
right? What the fuck is
he?
He's looking this strong over the past year. I mean, all these years. He ain't been getting clipped or nothing. So now, that's that snack shit. I'm telling you. Y'all laugh. I'm telling you. And that guy that a part of it, he been caught before. He went to jail for it.
Crawford is 37 and thinking about final legacy fights. Tank is 30 and trying to rebuild momentum. They are moving on completely different paths.
Tank Davis, he got arrested. I mean, any thoughts on that one?
You did, huh? Again?
Yeah, again.
Hey, look, I actually like Tank Davis. He's a good, he's a good kid. He's a good fighter, a great fighter, actually. He's one of my favorites. Just get your that's it, basically. Just shit, you don't hit women, man.
Still, the tension is impossible to ignore. The disrespect has gone too far and fans are deeply invested. Every time these two trade words online, the internet freezes. This is no longer fantasy matchmaking. It is a real rivalry. One of the few genuine rivalries left in boxing. And honestly, Tank needs it more than Crawford. Crawford is chasing greatness. Tank is chasing relevance. Crawford fights the biggest names. Tank fights to prove he is not slipping. Crawford is in the champion chapter. Tank is in the comeback chapter.
Tank would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about him. I just felt like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using
what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways.
That leads to the biggest question of all. Does Tank truly want to fight Crawford, or does he want Crawford's spotlight? Bud is not Ryan Garcia or Leo Santa Cruz or Rolly Romero or Frank Martin. Crawford is elite technique mixed with power. He switches stances, breaks fighters mentally, and shuts down aggression. Most important, he destroys counter-punchers. Tank lives off counters while Crawford removes them.
Who do you think's better out of those two? Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
From a style standpoint, this could be Tank's worst matchup, and Bud knows it. That is why he mocks Tank and speaks with confidence. That is why he laughs at money talk. Crawford truly believes Tank is below him, and he says it openly. But Tank sees opportunity. A chance to face the pound-for-pound king. A chance to silence critics. A chance to erase the Roach fight and reset the story. Even if the fight cannot happen now, this rivalry gives Tank what he needs. Attention, motivation, pressure, and leverage. If Tank beats Cruz in 2026 and looks explosive, momentum returns. The weight gap becomes negotiable. The money becomes tempting. Fan demand grows so loud promoters have to listen. Drama sells. Rivalries sell. And this one is as hot as anything in years. So here is the real question. Do you believe Gervonta Davis truly wants this challenge, or is he playing with fire he cannot survive? Share your thoughts. This story is not finished. If the talk continues, 2026 could bring one of the wildest fights boxing has ever seen. Like this video and subscribe to Fight Field. See you next time.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that's moving up 2 weight classes, and, daring to be great.
You will fight him.
And tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow. Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
Got 147?
147. I'll make 147.
Ooh, see, oh man.
You gonna have a pre-count.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.